You know, they say opinions are like bee-holes. Everyone has one, and mine's very weird. Why won't someone fix this? What's going on with my butt? Yes, I said butt. It's a YouTube thing. I can't cuss. Hi, everybody. This is Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! 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 That probably won't work. Today, I wanted to address just about every complaint I've seen about Pokémon Unite. You know, I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might be too long. Sorry about that if it's very, very long. But I'm going to try to talk about all the issues I see people mention in Pokemon Unite. A lot were brought to my attention inside the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord and you want a cool place to go, check out the Discord. But let's go over just about every issue in Pokemon Unite. Breathe. I'm a little on tilt. I just had a match that was quite bad, and it was recorded. I might actually put it up. It's the most upset I've probably been playing this game. I don't know how much value there is to that, but if people want to see me be kind of annoyed in a game, not even kinda, I might put that up. Here are some of the things I'm going to be talking about. Zapdos, matchmaking, reporting options, the coin cap, pay to win, chat options, menu UI, crashes and frames per second, auto aim, battle passes, people being MIA in matches, multiple currencies, lack of info from the developer about what anything is, patch-wise or otherwise, balance changes and patch notes. That's kind of the same thing, Jake. You wrote that twice. Woo! Where to begin? Let me start with the game being pay to win. The reason I want to start with this is because I've made another video on my channel about the game being pay to win, so I don't need to go into crazy depth about this, but I will just say that the game is pay to win. You pay for an advantage that other people can't get without an absurd amount of grinding. Now, at this point, if you played the game since launch and paid no money, you could get items to a very reasonable level. You could have multiple level 20 items, which is all I have items-wise. I don't have anything to 30. I have paid for some of my items because I was trying to test different items to see if anything else besides the big ones would work. But in general, you can still compete. However, people can pay for an advantage. That is pay to win. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good practice. I like paying for skins and things like that. Battle passes, I really don't have a problem with. But paying directly to be able to upgrade held items, it is a problem. And I guess let me talk about held items now because they're kind of in the same category. Held items they're a problem because of the pay to win mechanic, and they're also a problem because certain ones aren't that good. So some people could put all of their energy into an item that really isn't that competitive, and that's really unfortunate. Maybe it would be nice to have some sort of reset token that people could get now that the game's been out for a little while or at the end of a season, so you can reset your points, because it just feels unfortunate that maybe someone who didn't put anything into Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, you know, Score Shield, something like that, put all of their energy into Leftovers, Rocky Helmet, you know, things like that. And it's not that those items are terrible, or special attack specs or something. They're not terrible. It's nice to have that little bonus, but other ones are just so much better. So I think some sort of respec option would actually be really, really ideal for most players. It doesn't seem that fair that other people can pay once they figure out what the good items are. I was fortunate in that I didn't pay for any items all the way up until Master Rank. I didn't pay for anything. I just knew right once I read Buddy Barrier, even before the game came out and I was playing it in the beta, I had a video like before the game came out, after the beta, where I said I think Buddy Barrier is going to be the most OP item for sure, and I was right. So I put all my energy into Buddy Barrier and Wise Glasses because I played a lot of special attackers, and then what was the other one I used a ton? Shell Bell, which was not ideal. And then I started running something else that I only had at level 10, I think. But all that being said, you're still paying for an advantage. It is pay to win, and the held items are a bit of a mess. The other thing that could be really unfortunate, what if they nerf or buff some of these held items that you've paid real money to upgrade, or you haven't paid any real money, but you've been very careful about what you've been putting your item upgrades into, and then the game balances out an item that you put in so much effort to. So that is an issue. I think the held items in general are an issue. Pay to win is an issue. It doesn't mean you're not going to win. I win all the time. I win all the time. Win every match. But it's a problem. Pay to win is a problem. Let me talk about the next issue that is an issue. These are all issues. That's why they're issues. So I don't know if I'm going to keep saying the next issue that's an issue. The coin cap. So I understand why they have the coin cap. The big reason they have the coin cap that players can earn is because they want players to spend real money on this game, which I get. They made a product, they want you to pay for it. As well we should. It's a good game, I really love it, and I want to support the developers, I want to see the game thrive, so I want to continue spending money. Real money on costumes, stuff like that, I'll happily do that. As far as the coin cap goes, they're putting you in a position to not be able to have enough coins to get all the Pokemon you want. I think if someone plays the game obsessively, they should be able to get tons and tons of coins. I personally probably wouldn't have a coin cap because it's not like you can buy items with the coin cap. With coins, you can't buy skins with coins, so there's still tons of ways to monetize the game. And if you let people get all the Pokemon through coins and the items, then you will more easily let them buy the skins they want for that Pokemon. So I think the coin cap should be probably gotten rid of completely, or at least raised considerably. I get why they don't, because you release a new champion that costs 8,000 coins. You did the same thing 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks in between means they only could have got 6,300 coins. Ergo, people will need to buy some of these champions as they continue playing pay to win. By the way, I don't even know if I used ergo correctly there. So there's the coin cap. I agree it's a bit of a problem. Let's talk about reporting in a match and the issues around reporting. So, I used issues again. So here we go. One thing that's really frustrating is if you're not playing in a way that your teammates particularly like, which can be a problem. I think if people are griefing, that's an issue. Griefing is just kind of when the way they're playing is clearly saying F you to the team. Maybe they're doing something dumb like continually running into your opponent's goal. You should be able to report over that. But what happens in this game is people will get falsely reported for voice chat issues just because the team doesn't like something you were doing. So I remember playing a match where clearly 3 people on the team wanted to surrender, and they were all obviously playing together. I didn't think there was any reason to surrender this game. We were doing just fine, and I didn't end up surrendering. The other person kept voting no, and then I voted no to follow suit. Now, obviously, if the other person voted yes, I would do it. Or if I felt like my team was AFK, left the game, didn't want to play anymore. I don't like playing a game where everyone's upset, but at the same time, there was nothing wrong with this match. So I didn't vote to surrender it. In the end, we won the match. By the way, irrelevant. Even if we lost, it doesn't mean I was wrong about wanting to continue the match, but we ended up winning. And then I get reported for malicious voice chat or whatever. And I just think, really? We're seriously reporting me because I didn't agree to surrender this game? So they should probably take the voice chat reporting out, or just recognize that if someone reports you for voice chat and your voice chat is not turned on, get rid of that report. There should just be a fix to that reporting option in general. Also, I don't know. I really don't think I've reported anyone. One time I saw someone obviously AFKing in base and just running back and forth so they didn't get the AFK. And it was just, I think I reported that person for idling or whatever, but I don't even really care to do that. However, I recognize why there's a reporting system in a game like this, because people can get pretty toxic in a MOBA. There aren't enough options for reporting, and the fact that they just let people pile on someone with a voice chat thing that's not true and they have no way of verifying it. I've had people in my Discord mention to me that they don't have any way of going through to figure out if that is true or not. They're not, investigating it, so you just got reported. And if it happens enough times, I guess they can kick you out of a game or something. Feels like an issue to me. An issue to me. I've got a pen in my hand and I'm gonna start talking about chat options. So outside of voice chat, and of course outside of being in a Discord or something like that, there aren't a lot of options to tell your team what's going on. You can't tell people an enemy's missing. You can tell people what path you're going to, which can be very useful. You can tell people your Unite move is ready, which is useful, but less useful. It's kind of your way of saying, hey, I'm a Cramorant, and at this next team fight, I'm going to pop my Unite. So not a bad idea, but there could be more inside there. And it's a little tough, when sometimes I'll hit the retreat button because I see my team, we won Dreadnought, and they're doing that push that I think is just so bad where you're pushing to their second goal and we're just going to get KO'd a bunch of times until we move out of there. So we're losing the entire experience advantage that we gained from winning the Dreadnought fight. Anyway, I'll call for retreat, but every once in a while it'll say I need backup, or depending on what I'm next to, just the context of it doesn't make a lot of sense. So we do need some more chat options. I like that the game doesn't have something like a good job or something, because people would just spam that constantly when someone does something wrong. Trust me, as someone from who comes from a lot of MOBAs, specifically the most MOBA experience I have is with Smite. I've played a lot of different MOBAs. Maybe League of Legends is close to Smite actually, but in Smite people can say "you rock" and they can also say "cancel that," and my friend and I jokingly "you rock, cancel that" to each other all the time, because it happens so much. After one bad play, you rock, cancel that, you rock, cancel that. It's terrible. So I'm glad they don't have that, but they do need a few more chat options. If they put in a good job or something, I will jump off a building. Let's talk about crashes and FPS issues. The game crashes a decent amount. I don't know if I'd blame the game, but I've got to blame the Switch, blame it on the alcohol. Not a great reference. And I think that this is a problem. Hopefully they can just, tune this game up a little bit, have it run better. Sometimes I feel like it runs a little better handheld, but I don't like to play handheld. I know that sounds crazy, but the way they obviously scale back on the graphics and stuff handheld, sometimes I feel like the game runs a little better that way, which is bizarre. So they need to work on this, and I think they'll continue working on this. The FPS drops are pretty brutal though. Sometimes in really big team fights, it costs me a fight. It costs me a Unite move. It costs me, when you're a certain Pokemon, if you're a Greninja and you need to nail that Surf at just the right time, or you're anyone and you want to pop your Unite move, but you have this massive FPS slowdown, that's a big problem. I think they should do something to address that issue. Welcome back to Issues with Jake. Hi. Let's talk about auto aim. The aiming system in this game, they're trying their best. There are a few things I don't like about it. I've gone through some of the options, trying different things. HP percentage, total HP remaining, closest. There's of course the aim wheel that you can put on the right side of the map that the more and more I play, I get the utility of it, and sometimes it's pretty useful, but other times it actually costs you in some really annoying ways. So there are aiming issues. One of my biggest aiming problems is that I have a dumb joke about in my head was going, say the toilet, and I'm going, no. So one of my biggest aiming issues is when I'm attacking wild Pokemon. I have the option on where it A attacks enemies, B attacks wild Pokemon. Sometimes I forget that I'm mashing A, and then an enemy kind of wanders near, not even into my attack range, and I stop attacking the wild Pokemon. That's frustrating. Sometimes I'm hitting B, but then if I hit B and I'm trying to throw an ability with Pikachu, I'm trying to throw that Electro Ball. Now my Electro Ball keeps getting canceled by my B, so it's not ideal, and I wish they could fix that. Also, the aiming sometimes, the snapback on the Pro Controller, I use this guy right here. What if I pulled this out right now? I use this guy right here, PS5. You just hook it right up. I use just this Pro Controller, and when I'm aiming an ability with my right stick, and then I accidentally let go of my stick before my ability, and it flicks back. I'm not demonstrating anything right now, I'm realizing, but it slightly flicks back and it shoots my ability behind me. That is maybe the most frustrating thing in the world for me right now, okay? I know there's a lot of problems in the world right now. The most frustrating thing for me is when my ability goes the other way and I look like an absolute fool. Instead of like knocking out 2 people with Lucario, I leave. I'm just like, pew, see you later. So there are issues with it. There are issues with the aiming. I've turned the auto aim off. I'll actually show my control schemes in another video. People have asked for that. I mainly got my control schemes from watching other Unite YouTubers and then just kind of like going through and seeing what worked and what didn't. I'll probably show that in another video, but aim is a problem. It's an issue. Battle Pass. Some people have complained about the Battle Pass. I don't really have any issues with the Battle Pass. I think this game needs something. like that, so that it can help generate some money. If it gave you, it should give you maybe some skins for Pokemon. I would like that a lot more than, you know, a costume. I know you get the Cinderace skin all the way at the end. But in general, I have no issue with the battle pass. I kind of like battle passes in a game like this, as long as the game doesn't have other ways to really milk money out of people. I don't mind the battle pass at all. Some games have really good battle passes, and I would like to support a game, so I usually buy a battle pass in a game that I'm really into. I don't know. I don't feel like I climb it too slowly. I actually feel like I complete the objectives in battle pass without ever thinking about it. So I don't mind the battle pass personally. I understand, I think, some people's issue with it, you know, just having things locked behind a paywall in general, but I think the battle pass, in my opinion, is totally fine. So for me, it's not an issue. People being MIA and then what that does to a match. So if someone leaves a match, especially a ranked match in the higher ranks, it's very frustrating. And the most frustrating part is you lose rank because of it. I'm not saying they left because they were, you know, pissed off and needed to get out of that match or anything like that. But when someone goes idle or just quits out of a ranked match, I do think that the people on your team probably should not get a penalty for that. I could see that person getting a more extreme penalty, but I hate losing a ranked match and just going, I really lost rank because of this. The rank system in general is bad, by the way. Here's why it is bad. It's bad for solo queue players, because if you're playing solo in master rank, I think it's pretty hard as someone, I would consider myself pretty darn good at the game. I'm not saying I'm one of the best players in the world, far from it. I think I'm just pretty darn good. I've played MOBAs for a very long time. The reason I'm giving you my credentials right here is just to explain, having over a, you know, 65% win rate, excuse me, in master rank is pretty tough. I think, you know, 60 to 70 would be a extremely good players, like a 70% solo queue win rate. That's extremely good, because you can only control as much as you can control. You've kind of got to be a carry, because if your team has a bad carry, you're just doing poorly. So if I'm filling in master rank solo queue as support, I don't have enough control over the game to rise in rank. So when I win a match and I get plus 16 or plus 24 or whatever to my master rank, and I lose a match and I lose 16 or something like that, even if I'm above 50%, it's going to take me so many games to climb rank. So there should be another system with that. There probably should be a system where there is, you know, pre-made 5-person team master rank, and there is solo queue, or even just, you know, solo queue and duos master rank. And that way you at least have a better shot of being matched with people who are also dealing with the same issues you're being matched with. And I think a win should give you more than a loss. I wouldn't want it to be the point where, you know, all it matters is how many games you play. You know, let's say a win gives you 40 points and a loss you only lose 20, just for easy math. That would mean if you have just slightly above a 50% win rate and you play more games than anyone, you'll be at the top of the leaderboard. I don't think it should be that extreme, but you probably should get more for a win. That way it's just, your climbing makes a little more sense. That's a totally separate thing. This was about people being MIA, but I think if someone's MIA, that person should be punished, but you should be punished the either 0 or the absolute smallest amount for losing that match. I know there are issues with that too. Okay. I want to talk about, yeah, this is part of it, matchmaking. So as this game gets bigger, especially as it gets on mobile, I do think some sort of matchmaking system for solo and 5-person teams or something should be split. There might need to be some sort of matchmaking where you matchmake as a particular role. I know some MOBAs have done that, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if they don't have something like that. I just think it would be nice. One thing that's tough is when you get matched solo and the enemy team is clearly communicating, it's such a massive advantage, I can't even explain it. So I think matchmaking isn't one of the game's biggest issues, but it is an issue. It is. Let's talk about money. Hey, those big dollar signs. This game has multiple currencies. It's kind of insane, yeah. Let me actually pull my game up. I'm going to show this to you. This game just has too many things that you can put your money and energy into. So you have a battle pass that costs money. Great. And then you get battle pass points for completing your mission. So it sort of has a currency there. I wouldn't consider it a currency, but you pay money for the battle pass. You also have a system up here, your trainer level, which gives you item enhancers and tickets and coins. You have Eos gems, which you pay real money for. You have Eos coins, which has a cap on it, which you don't pay real money for, but you get from battles. Then you have tickets that you get from various different things that you can pay real money for using Eos gems. Then they have an energy system. Now this is just a lottery, basically, which by the way, I never win. All I get is socks. I'm gonna do one right now. It's gonna be socks. I guarantee it. Watch this be socks. I knew it was gonna be socks. I knew it was gonna be socks. I was so sure it was gonna be socks that I did it for you right. Did you see that? Okay. They should put me on one of those things where I go and I try to solve murders. They go, where's my missing child? And I just hold my hand out and my brain hurts. I am psychic when it comes to this energy thing. All I get is socks. I can't even believe those were socks I didn't have. I'm kind of blown away that I didn't have those socks. Okay, so they have that. They have events. I actually love events. It just tons of different ways to earn, all the currency, but it is a lot of currency and there's a reason they do it. They have all those currencies. I haven't even gotten to all the currencies, by the way. They also have 3 shops. You have the shop just for Pokemon you can buy. It makes sense, but it's splitting things up. Then you have the Eos Emporium, which is kind of a mishmash. It has fashion. Some things you can pay gems for. Other things you can pay tickets for. However, you can buy tickets with gems. So you can buy this thing that only lets you use tickets. You can just buy more tickets. Why won't it let you just use gems on it? I don't get it. Why are all these jackets the same? So there's this area where you can buy fashionable things. Hey, some socks. You can buy fashionable things for your character, and fine, they cost tickets, except they also kind of cost gems because you can buy gems. Then you have all these items that cost coins, okay? And then you have item enhancers, and this is how people pay to win. You buy item enhancers with tickets, which actually makes sense. I'm fine with that. But once you run out of tickets, you can buy tickets with gems. So this is how pay to win happens. Then you have battle point boost cards. I don't know. I don't see a huge reason for it, but fair enough. You have energy tanks, so you can get more socks. You can only buy those with gems, by the way. That's just their lottery there. You can rename yourself for money. I kind of understand this, even though whatever. And then you have a coin boost, which is one of the worst things you could ever buy because it's just going to boost your coins that you're already going to get to a cap of anyway. Then you have fashion tickets. So there's another currency, and it's fashion tickets. By the way, this isn't the last currency. You have fashion tickets. You get these tickets from the energy tank lottery thing, and you also get it when you get duplicate items. See both these socks? I already got these socks. I've gotten these socks so many times that I have 150 fashion tickets. So now I can use my fashion tickets to buy things in here. Another currency. Then we have this third shop. This third shop makes total sense. It's a skin shop. I get it. However, it presents you with an additional currency that you get from the energy tank, which is Hollowware tickets. So you can use these Hollowware tickets to get these things that you don't get inside of the energy tank. I actually don't know if you can buy Hollowware tickets. Can I exchange for this? Not enough. So I don't know if you can buy Hollowware tickets. You might be able to. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if you can buy them. Someone let me know in the comments if you can buy them. But what I've shown you is I've shown you multiple currencies here. Is there a place that just has all your currencies? So there are Hollowware tickets, which is essentially a currency. Fashion tickets, which is a type of currency. Item enhancers, one of the most important things that's kind of a currency. You have gems, coins, tickets, and yeah, that's just a lot. That is a lot of currencies for the game. Okay, I think I've talked enough about the currencies in here. There are a ton of them. And it's the reason there are a ton of currencies in games like this. Sadly, the truth of it is it makes the amount of real money you've put into the game funnel in different ways, and it's more confusing. It is to monetize this game, and it's to kind of trick you into not knowing how much money you spent or where you spent it. I don't love it in games. I get why they do it. They're trying to make a bunch of money. Let's talk about information. This game has a huge lack of information. It requires people online taking the time to test things out, to know how much HP a Pokemon has, what is its defense stat, what exactly changed in the new patch notes. Sometimes in patch notes they'll write patch notes move downgrade. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. What do we, I don't know what this means. The amount of info they are hiding is bizarre, especially because I just found out, I don't know when this video is going to go up, but I'm assuming today, yesterday, whatever, about the Zapdos Dreadnought thing. Where, if you don't know, check out my video. If you take out Dreadnought, you have a 90-second damage debuff to the damage your team does to Zapdos. So, I don't know why they wouldn't tell us something like that. It's kind of insanely important. Or just tell me how Surf has been reduced. A 10% damage decrease. The half a second on its CC, crowd control ability when it knocks people up. I don't know what it is, but you should be open with your community about what these changes are. It shouldn't take someone like, as I've mentioned before, someone like Super Teeds to go out and test everything. She shouldn't have to do that, although I'm sure everyone appreciates that she does, or the people on Reddit who find these things and post these videos. I have someone on my Discord who noticed that one of Gengar's abilities, Shadow Ball, I believe, gets a cooldown reduction once it upgrades, and the game doesn't tell you that at all. It's very, very bizarre that they don't. They really should, and one of the things that's frustrating about it is there are probably things that they're changing on the back end that we also don't know and nobody's even checking to test for, because why would we... There's no reason to assume that what they changed is all they changed. We don't know. I think they probably would tell us, but maybe they adjust some values somewhere and we just had no idea. But all of a sudden someone notices, hey, my water shuriken isn't dealing as much damage as it did before. That's weird. And then everyone finds out about it. They should just be very open about what they change. We've got balance changes and patch notes, which again is the same thing. One thing that I do think should be figured out is what they're going to do with held items, because there are some that most surely need a buff, I guess. But if you start nerfing held items, people have paid a lot of real money sometimes for this. They should have some sort of respec option for your held items, at least, so that someone doesn't get screwed if a held item nerf or buff ever happens. That's just my thought on held items. I'm getting to most of everything here, right? Let's see. People have talked about the menu and UI. I was just going through the menu there. I mean, there's a lot. There are always issues with things like that. I don't have a ton of amazing suggestions, but how clunky it is moving through and changing battle items, held items and for each Pokemon. The practice mode, while I think it's great, if you want to try certain things, you have to sit there the whole time. You've got the enemy running around doing God knows what, trying to mess up what you're doing. So I think a more robust practice mode, and yeah, just easier to navigate UI that gave us all the information about the Pokemon would be really, really nice. I've been saving this for the end, I think, right? Yeah, let me talk about Zapdos. Zapdos is pretty controversial. It's controversial. I'm taking a sip of coffee. Zapdos is controversial, and I understand why people are upset with Zapdos. I am not as upset with as some people are with Zapdos. Zapdos is a catch-up mechanic, but it's also a mechanic that is often found in MOBAs, which is a very, very, probably in every MOBA, which is a very, very important objective that both teams team fight over. You kind of need it. Without it, I feel like the matches are just going to have tons of early surrenders. But with it, you get this frustrating thing, especially without knowing what this final Dreadnought did. You get this frustrating thing where the enemy team has played poorly the whole game. They steal Zapdos right at the end, and then they somehow win because they run to the goals and they dunk all these points. So I actually think Zapdos as a mechanic is necessary but needs to be changed. I want something at the end of the game that the teams fight over. I want it to be important. I don't think it should be so important that people can have done nothing all game and all of a sudden dunk 500 points immediately after one team fight. But I do think it's important to have a team fight where, look, a game I posted the other day, my team and I weren't doing particularly well. And it was coming down to the end, and it was time for us to fight at Zapdos, and the other team was clearly ahead. And when it came to fight at Zapdos, the team had split. The enemy team did. Some of them were going to dunk goals, others were near Zapdos. I feel like 2 or 3 were near Zapdos. I'm not remembering this perfectly, but you get the idea here. They didn't make an effort to fight at Zapdos. They didn't try to stop us. We end up winning a small team fight at Zapdos and then taking Zapdos and winning the game. Now, the enemy team was wrong. Their play was bad. They were playing better the whole time. In some ways, I think we should have won that game, and I do see other arguments for why someone would want us to not win that game. I personally lean more on the side of, I think we should have won that game, and there should be a mechanic for us to be able to catch up. But it is, you know, you're on a razor's edge with how to deal with this. So I think part of the reason people are upset at Zapdos is they're not actually aware of all the things that go into winning a game. It's not just dunking down the first 2 goals, maybe stuffing some points in the back goals while the enemy team doesn't do well. There's, you know, experience leads, the map awareness for the end of the game fight, just the game sense of knowing, okay, you know, yes, they are winning. They're going to take this Dreadnought, but we're going to farm. We're going to take things from their jungle. We're going to take Rotom because they've already got Dreadnought. So we're going to have kind of their top path pushed in, but not their bottom. So we're going to dunk on that goal right at the 2-minute mark. There are strategies in this game that aren't just, I scored points early, I should win. And then again, some games you see the Zapdos get taken and you just think that was absolutely ridiculous. We were clearly winning and stomping them the whole time, and now all of a sudden they stole Zapdos and win the game. So it needs to be changed. I've heard a lot of good suggestions about what could be changed. Maybe the double points need to be changed. Maybe it's 1.5 times points at the end and it's not double points. Maybe it's not an instant dunk. I actually really like this idea. I think I heard Crashy talk about it on his stream. Maybe it's not an instant dunk. Maybe it's an accelerated dunk, but you could still stop someone from dunking. So there's counterplay, you know? The team can get Zapdos, but you can also stop them. They don't just immediately get to walk in and tap that X button and all of a sudden they dunk. So there are ways to fix it, but I actually do think it's a good mechanic. It just needs some massaging to be made into the best mechanic possible. We need to mold it like clay into something where a team can come back, but it doesn't feel like all or nothing happens at Zapdos sometimes. I think I've gotten through pretty much everything. I hope I haven't missed anything on this list. I'm sure there are more issues in the game, but I just wanted to make this video talking about pretty much every issue I see. I mean, as far as teammates not knowing how to play, that's MOBAs, and we're just gonna have to continue getting better as a community and hopefully supporting each other or finding good places to play. As far as, oh, this is one that a lot of people talk about, like multiple people taking the jungle or taking jungle Pokemon. I don't know why people do it, but it's all part of a MOBA that is very new, and communities that don't know what MOBAs are, they're going to have to learn what's important inside this game. I hope that was interesting. I hope it was fun. I actually love talking about stuff like this. I'm sorry that it's long, but there you go. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I just went over 20K, and I want to make, you know, some sort of announcement and thank you for it. But I'll just say this here as well. Thank you all so much. It means a lot to me, and you know, people are giving me the ability to make stuff like this possibly as, you know, my job, which is unbelievable. So all I can say to you is thank you again. I love you. Goodbye. I wish there was a tier list here. I'd mix it up. Bye. Mwah. I knew it was gonna be socks. I knew it was gonna be socks.